Your gift is a pointer to your calling. What we're discussing today is the most common way that people talk about calling. And sincerely, you can't eliminate the place of gift. There is just something about your gift that gives a sense, an idea of what your life must or should be about. There is just something about your gift that gives a sense of what your life must or should be about. Please note that in this life, everything is important. So don't despise your gift, your talent, or your potentials. Don't despise your gift, your talent, or your potentials. The fact that we have gifts is a sign that, and we have different gifts, is a sign that we have different responsibilities. Different responsibilities. This is the reason why you cannot compare yourself with someone else in this life. This is why you can't compare yourself. This is why you can't compare yourself. Why? The gift suggests, the assignment suggests what you should be doing with your life, suggests why you should never compare yourself to others. Why you should never compare yourself to others. We tend to compare ourselves to others, unfortunately. Unfortunately. And the Bible says that them comparing themselves with themselves are not wise. So how will you compare yourself with people? You came here differently, and as a matter of fact, you have different assignments. You are called for different things. Probably born by different parents, different time, in different place, for different purpose and different gifts. What we must not do is to despise our gift. When God created mankind, he said, be fruitful. Question then is, being fruitful suggests there is a seed. Being fruitful suggests there must be a seed. The seed is the gift that must be discovered and planted in order to yield result. There must be discovered and planted in order to yield the desired result. Seed is a gift, is the gift. So he said, be fruitful. Why? Why are we supposed to be fruitful? Then he said, multiply. For one reason or the other, some people attribute that being fruitful to giving back to football team. How do you replenish the earth and subdue the earth? By giving back to a football team. How do you replenish the earth and how do you subdue the earth? By giving back to a football team. Obviously, it's much more than giving back to much more by giving back to children. Because if we attribute that to just giving back to children, what we will be doing is limiting ourselves to coming to the earth, and God is saying, just bomb, 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 bomb. But he said, multiply, then he said, replenish the earth, then he said, subdue it, then he said, have dominion. That you give back to a football team will not make you to have dominion in the world. So there must be something more important, something else beyond being fruitful. I'm not discounting the fact that giving back to children is part of being fruitful, but the fruitfulness there is much more. And I believe strongly that your gift is one of them, or probably the most important one. But if you check to the scripture, you'll see about 5 kinds of fruits. The fruit of the womb, that's the one everybody talks about. You can check this out, the fruit of your thought, ideas. The fruit of the spirit, character. The fruit of your hand, your work. And the fruit of your mouth, your words. All these are very critical in being able to subdue the earth and replenish it. So let's look at it. Be fruitful. I become fruitful. Multiply. I get a team, empower them to be able to deliver the vision, multiply, replicate myself in them, multiply. Because now I have a team who is going to solve a problem on the earth, replenish the earth, replace what is bad, replenish the earth, replace what is bad. Now, if I continue that work of replacement and it begin to grow, I'm going to subdue a whole sector. I'm going to subdue a whole sector. If I subdue a whole sector, I'll be in charge. I will have dominion. If I subdue a whole sector, I'll be in charge. I will have dominion. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, have dominion. So, and that was the first instruction that God gave mankind. The very first instruction that God gave mankind. So, when people say we have come to the world and we are supposed to be born again and go back to heaven, I say I disagree. Because that's not what the Bible intended. There was no need for being born again in Genesis when God created man. So I believe there was an original plan and then there was a redemption plan. The redemption plan is to bring us back to the original plan so that we align back with him and then go back and do what he said you should do. Be fruitful, but you must align with him. So you'll be able to know exactly how you have to do it, giving an idea, inspiring you what to do. Be fruitful. So being born again gives you opportunity to come back to the original plan. Explain the redemption plan and come back to the original plan. Someone make an illustration. I love illustration. He said, you send someone to the market, go and buy rice. On his way to the market, he saw friends that are playing football. He decided to go and play football. The person that said go and buy rice, now said, it's 1 hour now. He's supposed to have finished. He's supposed to have been back. Why has he not come back? He now got the elder brother and said, go and look for your brother. He's lost. He needs to be found. And the brother now went in search for the brother and found the brother when he was playing football and brought him back to the road and said, oh yeah, go and buy the rice I told you to buy. The brother now comes, that's the redemption plan. He was lost in playing football. He was lost in sin, in iniquity, in unrighteousness. He was lost and he was brought back to go and complete the task he had been given. To go and complete the task he has been given. So there was an original plan and there is a redemption plan. Redemption plan brings you back to the original plan to be able to align with him and go back and do what you were told to do in the first place. So the essence of the gift is like a seed that is supposed to be planted, that's supposed to germinate, and then make us to become fruitful. So don't join people to say that there is nothing that is good that you are good at. Or as a matter of fact, when you say that, you are basically saying that you have no calling. You are not called to do anything. And that means you are saying God is frivolous. He just created you without any reason. He just created without any reason. Just to come into this world, grow old, and die, and go back. Some people think that, how can my calling be in the mundane things of life, like cleaning, like cooking, like, tell me now, sleeping. There's a lady that teaches people how to sleep. She's a doctor. If you have issue with sleep, she has therapy for sleep. She will teach you how to sleep for 3 hours and experience like you have slept for 7 hours. Sleeping, as mundane as sleeping. And I'm using those examples to let you know that there is nothing you are gifted with that is useless. Like someone said yesterday, it is knowledge on how to monetize or harness the potential you have to deliver value to the world. That's where the problem lies. And that's the whole idea of we learning to be able to know what to do with it. So some people think that, how can my calling be in the mundane things of life? What is it that comes naturally to you? What are you naturally good at? This is your gift. This is your talent. This is your potential. So having discovered what you are naturally good at, then you can go and develop that area of your life through training. Many people have discovered themselves or have a sense of what their life is about, but they find it difficult to train themselves. The most critical aspect is the training. Even if you are going to be a social enterprise to help people, you must train yourself to be able to know, how do I help people in a very efficient manner? How do I make these things sustainable to be able to generate income to sustain it? That's where learning comes in. Those are what distinguish you. Learning, learning, learning. And that's why our session in January, I'm looking at we meeting once a week in January on Saturday for about 2 hours, both offline and online, depending on what we're able to afford. So we have more people participating. But what we're going to be doing for the whole of January is how we can maximize our time in 2021. We'll be for January, between January and February, and probably till March, we'll be discussing issue around time, and work. And the reason is, having discovered yourself, being able to maximize your time and convert every second into value, either in yourself or in others, should be the next work or assignment we need to do. Else, the discovery will be a waste of time. Because then we have discovered, then I'm not able to do much with it. Because I did not apply the force of work. Do you know how important work is? But for work, we will not have anything in this world. The world will remain in stone age, but for work. And God created work, so work is spiritual. And he gave work first to mankind, to Adam. Basically saying, the way you are going to realize your potential is through work. I'm sorry to say, you're not going to realize your potential through prayer. You're going to realize your potential through work. You're going to realize your potential through fasting. You're going to realize your potential through work. Jesus, you can't be more spiritual than Jesus. Jesus was moving from village to village, from town to town, from city to city to preach. He said, I must work the work of him that sent me. He had to go and pray for 40 days and 40 nights, do the spiritual work, and then began to do the real work. But you know what we do? You are gifted. You're not doing anything about your gift. You just believe that through prayer and fasting and singing, you will achieve. It's a big lie, not going to happen. I don't even know where you find that in the Bible, actually. I think that's gross laziness. I think that's being a reproach to the body of Christ. I think that's one of the reasons why many Christians are frustrated, because they attribute everything to prayer. You know, there is this thing about prayer is the master key. I don't think so. I think prayer is one of the keys, not the master key. It's one of the keys, because through prayer you can hear him and know what to do. So it's one of the keys, but it's not the master key. You know why it's not the master key? Because he alone, a master key alone will open the door. He prayer alone will not do it. Because knowledge will let you know when to pray. Knowledge will let you know when to pray. For lack of knowledge. No lack of prayer. For lack of knowledge. You say what? So what I'm going to say is that, what I'm going to say basically is that it's not enough for us to discover our gifts. That gift will be useless if you don't apply the force of diligence, of hard work. Do you know why Paul was the greater of the apostles? Paul said, I labor more abundantly than they all. No wonder he was the greatest. He said, I labor more abundantly. While they were working for 3-4 hours a day, I was working 8-9 hours, 10 hours a day. No wonder he was the greatest of the apostles, even though he was the least to be appointed. He was the greatest of the apostles. I labored. So, and I think this is the most crucial and critical aspect for us as Christians and as humans. Do you know that you will not realize your potential as human being if you are not given to labor? Do you know what I discovered about labor? The more you work, the more you discover things you need to do. The more you discover things you need to do. The more you discover things you need to do. It's like layer of onion. The more you work, the new layer, a new layer. And the more you discover what you can do. I don't know if you understand. The more you discover what you can do. So that means you don't even have an idea of what you are capable of doing if you don't take work seriously. If you believe 1 day of labor, 1 day of favor is more than 10 years of labor. If that's your philosophy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It won't work. It won't work. Do you know that you increase your chance of being successful by working? He said time and chance, happiness, them all. You see that chance, you increase that chance when you work because you increase the opportunity to be able to have access because you are prepared for every opportunity. If you are not working, when the chance comes, you will not be prepared. You will not be prepared. So if you are naturally good at listening to people, then you can go and search to know the profession that is involved in listening. And I think this is what the issue is. When someone thinks what I love to do is listening, listening to people. I just like people, or I like speaking. Or I like taking care of kids, children, or I like whatever it is, to be able to go and learn how to maximize that gift. That's where the challenge is. Because if we know, then you realize that there is nothing, and I say there is absolutely nothing that you want to do or you are capable of doing that is useless. Because you're giving that gift in the first place because you can use it to achieve great stuff. So if you are naturally good at listening to people, then you can go and search for knowledge on how the profession that involves listening to people. This might include counseling, coaching. Then you can go and develop your mind in these areas. Go and develop your mind in this area through studying and learning. For example, you might notice that you like to be in the kitchen, cooking. That might mean that you need to be a caterer or a chef. But some people will think that cooking is too mundane. They will despise it, but unknown to them that their destiny depends on it. There's nothing that God gives to you as a gift that is useless. You can achieve the highest opportunity, achieve highest level in life by just giving attention to it. Giving attention to it. You know, scripture says, "See thou a man, diligent in his business." He didn't say the business. He said, no matter the business, he will stand before kings. Have you seen road traffic wardens receiving an award in Nigeria? Giving house, giving cars. Because of, there is one I saw in Abuja. He will be playing music. He will be directing traffic and he will be dancing. I heard there is also one in Warri. There's a lady here, somewhere in Yaba. People just want to give her, they just love. You know, when you do what you do, you make people love that thing. Because she loves and enjoys what she's doing. But some people will think cooking and being in the kitchen is mundane. The reason why many trivialize their gift and talent is because they think, look at this, they think, look at this, they think there's no money there. They think there's no money there. So money then becomes the only yardstick for people deciding what they want to do with their life. But Christ said, labor not for the meat that perisheth. Labor not for the meat that perisheth. Don't let the determining factor for what you are doing with your life be because of money. But be rest assured, if that thing you are doing is delivering value, all you need will be taken care of. That is what I think many people should realize. That all you need will be taken care of. If and only if you ensure that you give your best to that area. You know, today people will say Alibaba is the king of comedy in Nigeria. He literally set up a whole industry. Just the way you call Akitola William the doyen of accounting in Nigeria. You call Alibaba the doyen of comedy in Nigeria. Why? Why? In the olden days, in Yoruba land, they call them Alawada. As in, they only call when the chiefs and the king want to relax, they just call them to come and make them laugh and jest. And that's exactly what even though Obasanjo invite him, and he'll be happy Obasanjo. And he'll be happy Obasanjo. But what I'm trying to say is this. If you despise it, if you had despised it, you would probably have lost a whole industry. What I'm trying to say is, as funny as, in quote, useless that profession might be. What am I trying to say? And you know, now, you will think comedy is only about that, right? Just stand-up comedy. All of them are realizing that COVID have changed a lot of things. You know, COVID made a number of businesses to think. Many of them were not thinking before. A lot of them now, you know what they do? All of them are starting comedy series on YouTube. Because if you create good content on YouTube and people are viewing it, YouTube will pay you. So you can have a reporting model in that direction. And you can get, and some of them put it also on DSTV. Because the comedy is just like someone that is imaginative and you think it's only visual art you should do. Why should he do visual art? Why can't he be an architect? Why can't he be a brand strategist? Why can't he be a digital marketer? There's so many other things surrounded to the fact that he's able to imagine and come up with ideas that can communicate a message to people. So don't box yourself into thinking this is the only thing that the person can do. It's like someone that loves music and they think the only thing is to sing. But there are so many people making money from music that you don't even see them on stage and probably make money than people that are on stage. But it's only when you investigate in that sector you realize it. But like we discussed, was it Monday, the first day or yesterday, that the motivating factor should not be money. If money is the motivating factor, then that will not be right. That will corrupt what you are trying to do. Because that means when there are opportunities for you to do it, because there is no money, what will you do? You throw it away, you jettison it, you forget about it. Please know that your gold is buried in your gift. Your treasures are hidden in your talent. And your profit is placed in your potential. Your goals are in your gift. Your treasures are in your talent. And your profit is in your potential. Your gold are in your gift. Your treasures are in your talent. And your profit is in your potential. That means that if you don't locate your location, and remain and operate within your location, you will not be able to receive your full allocation from life. Therefore, do not trivialize what you are good at, because it is God that has given it to you. He gave you that ability, and He has a reason for giving it to you, because it's not frivolous. Do you have a natural gift, natural talent, natural inclination? Don't waste it. Don't throw it away. And please don't despise it. There was a woman that painted a picture of a gift that was despised. You know, this woman lost the husband and the 2 children were going to be taken as slaves. And she was looking for a solution, and she went to the prophet, and the prophet said, "What do you have?" He said, "Nothing." Later I remember, he said he has small oil. Now, he said nothing because he felt the oil was too small. It seemed significant. And that's exactly the way we view our gift. It's small, it's insignificant, it's useless, and what we don't realize is that everything God does, it starts small and then grow. It starts small and then grow. When He was going to create mankind, He created 2 people, and today we have 7 billion people. When a child is going to be born, it will start as a zygote, egg and a sperm coming together to form a zygote, and then it grows to become a full baby. Everything starts small and then grow. Everything has gestation period. That gestation period creates process for development in preparation for the conquest ahead. So it despises the oil. But eventually he mentioned I had a little oil, and that was the saving grace. That little oil can be magnified, can be multiplied rather. And the way to multiply it is through development. So I will come back again to that self-education, to that learning and development. So, and God has blessed us with the internet, where you have enough information available free of charge. The only cost is the cost of data. The only cost for many information online is the cost of data. And that cost of data is the only cost, meaning I can actually have access to everything. So someone said information is free, but knowledge is expensive. What's the difference between information and knowledge? Information is outside of you. Knowledge is inside you. It only becomes knowledge when it's inside you. Information is outside of you. Knowledge is inside you. But to convert it from information to knowledge, it requires time. Time of learning, time of studying, time of learning, time of studying. So God did not give you gift without a reason. In fact, he gave it to you to use it to serve humanity in fulfillment of your calling. So no matter how mundane that might appear to be rest assured there is a reason for this gift. Your gift is a raw material. Nobody buys raw material. Very few people. In fact, do you know the reason why Nigeria is having issue with foreign exchange and dollar is almost 500? Yesterday was 465. Nigeria does not have enough foreign exchange. You know why? The only way to generate exchange is to export. Most of what we export is commodities. Commodity does not give you enough money. Number one, there are few buyers. Number two, you can't sell it at a good rate. The buyer determines the price. But immediately you add value to it. It explodes. You make more money, you create jobs, generate money, foreign exchange. That's why it's unwise for us to be exporting crude oil and importing PMS. But that's exactly what happened in Nigeria. That's why Nigeria does not have enough foreign exchange. We don't have enough foreign exchange. Why? We are not doing enough in export. Let me come back here. Raw materials. It's not what you should be selling. Because nobody buys raw material, or rather few people will buy raw material. So if I want to export cocoa beans, maybe I will sell to US, Germany, Netherlands, UK, about 5-6 countries mainly that buy from Nigeria. But if I'm selling chocolate, almost every country in the world will buy chocolate, beverages. Almost every country. So if I don't process my raw material gift into finished product, I will not be able to maximize the potential of my gift. Your gift is a raw material. It has to be processed in order to refine it into finished product that can be purchased. The reason why you think a particular gift cannot bring you money is actually because of either mental laziness, lack of research, or wrong mindset. Mental laziness, lack of research, or wrong mindset. That's why you think there's nothing that you are gifted with. Do you know why your gift is so important? If you are gifted in it, if everybody is doing it and you are doing it, you will do it in a different way. You will be more creative. You will have more inspiration. You will do it with enthusiasm. You will do it in such a way that people will just want to come to you to have that experience because you love what you are doing. If you are good at loving people, then you need to go and research on profession connected with loving people. This could include pastoring. or hospitality industry, even teaching. You just like to take care of people. Don't think being good at anything is or at many things is a confusion. It is not true. List all that you are good at. Look at the one you are most passionate about. Isolate the first three or the top three you love and look for the one you are most passionate about. Research to know the professions that are connected to them. Look for the one that you are most passionate about. Start to work with that through personal development until you become an expert in that field. 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 Until you become an expert. And remember what it means to be an expert? You must have spent 10,000 hours. You must have spent 10,000 hours. There are different ways your gift can be combined to achieve your objective. Because they can be related. So if I'm multi-talented, sometimes the gift might be related. If they are related, they end up make life easy for me. I love research, I love speaking. I love research. I love finding out new things. I just like being, and I love speaking. What a fantastic combination. I'm able to use my speaking ability to communicate my findings and to be able to disseminate that knowledge to the society. So sometimes you might have different gifts and there might be a way you can use them together to achieve your objective. You might think that if you are good at cooking and writing, they are not related. That's not true. That's not true. You can begin to, one, do your research, discover new recipes, and write about them. Discover new recipe and write about them. Because you like writing. So you might be writing books having to do with food. I'm basically saying that there's a way this thing connects. In fact, the course you study, even though might not be directly related, might contribute. You love, again, counseling, and you studied BSADME, or you love cooking, and you studied computer science. You can combine it. You can combine it. I can use my IT knowledge to develop application to disseminate my message. I studied medical physiology. But what I do today is speaking about what I'm passionate about. And I discovered that my knowledge of human physiology is study of normal human function. So I think in systems, I think in processes, because the body is made up of cells, tissues, organs, systems. And each one functions in processes. So from this to this, from this to this, to this, to this, to this, to this, to this, and then it ends. So for example, I was talking yesterday about how birth process happens. Birth process happens. The child begins to grow in the womb. After a while, it becomes very heavy for the womb. It stretches the wall of the uterus. As the wall of the uterus is being stretched, when it gets to a level, the stretch stimulates the cells of the uterus, stimulate the nerve ending there. The nerve sends a message to the brain, causing the brain to release oxytocin. Oxytocin goes into the bloodstream, gets to the myometrium, the cell of the of the uterus, cause it to contract. As it contracts, the cell of that uterus is stimulated again, it's sent to the brain, it sends more oxytocin, it contracts again. The intensity of contraction continues to increase until the baby is pushed out. So it's a process. So it moves from one state to one state to one state. The way the body functions is just amazing. Now, so when I'm thinking of anything, I always think, okay, how does it move from this? I just think in process, and I try to put it in block. And it helps what I do today. Why? Because I study medical physiology. Even though I'm not using medical physiology, but the understanding of the concept of how system works is helping in what I do. What I'm trying to say basically is that even your background, what you study, might contribute one way to what you are doing. They might appear not related, but you have acquired some skill, you have acquired some intelligence, you have acquired some competence that will help you to be able to do those things. For example, you are very meticulous. You like to put things in order. That is a management-related gift. You need to develop that by doing training in management-related area. Because you want things to be prim and proper. You want things to be done right. You know how to monitor to ensure that it's done the way it's supposed to be done. Management. This might make such a person to become a great manager, building great business. So a gift like putting things in order should not be trivialized. Some people like cleaning. They do this very well. And you can bring new innovation into that area through diligent study. You can decide to go and learn chemistry, industrial chemistry, things that are related to, because most cleaning today involves chemicals. And you can come up with formulas that will be better off than what is currently existing, that will make close to bleach, for example, or that will be able to remove stuff stain, and you might be able to find a way to get it available at a cheaper rate. And then you become an industrialist. You love cleaning, but what you really do is provide a solution for people that are in that industry. So we should be, so when you have a gift in an area, the fact that you have that gift is necessary to be able to let you know, okay, this is what I should be doing, this is what I love to do. And you now want to find solution. And when you are doing anything, always remember, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, have dominion. So the goal is, when I start this thing, I want to dominate that sector. When I start this thing, I want to dominate that sector. If I'm going to dominate that sector, then I can't think like any other person. I must be looking for fresh idea. And if you're a Christian, this is where the Holy Spirit becomes vital for you. Because if you are a Christian and you are unable to receive ideas, then I'm asking myself, what kind of Christianity is that? Do you know that the goal of being born again is to bring you back into fellowship? Being fellowship. Now, if I come back into fellowship, what does fellowship mean? Fellowship is like union. The union of husband and wife produces a child. Fellowshipping with God that is fruitless, that is not producing anything, is useless. Money. So if I am fellowshipping with God, and after fellowship, there is no idea to convert into substance or value, it's a useless fellowship. It's a fruitless fellowship. If that fellowship is not making me to be more loving, showing love to people, if it's not making me to have idea to provide solution to problem, because he says, come unto me and I will answer you and show you. So if I am developing myself in this area and I want to find a solution that will make mankind to see my good work and glorify my Father, then I've read so much, an idea begins to pop up, and I'm able to fellowship with him to give me the know-how, the skill, the competence, the wisdom to be able to implement that idea he has dropped on my mind. Such that when people see it, it's so different, it's so unique, and they ask, how did you get this? And I can tell them, the Holy Spirit inspired me. So the intellectual property is actually that of God. What am I trying to say in essence? Those are the things that mankind can see and be able to appreciate. That's why I said yesterday that there is a point to get to in developing your gift, your career, that you now have all it takes to reconcile men to God. That when you say God is good, a lot of people want to hear that because they can see the result you have produced. And if you are saying God is good or Jesus is Lord, they want to hear that Jesus is Lord. They want to know why. Because they've seen a lot of results that make them to know that no, if this is the Jesus that makes you to be able to achieve this much, then we are interested in this Christ. What am I trying to say in essence? Inasmuch as we have discovered our gift, we will not be able to do much with it if we don't develop it in order to be able to deploy it to be a blessing to our world. Don't choose a profession because of salary or because they pay very well. Choose a profession because of your natural gifting. The Bible says the gift of a man make room for him. No matter how crowded that sector is, they will create your own space for you. You will have your own market share, a significant market share. The gift of a man make room for him, create room for him, make space for him. Unless you don't believe that scriptures, that if I'm gifted and I develop that gift, it can create a space for me where there seems to be no space. Why? Because I'm going to be doing things at a level that is different from others in that area, in my own unique way. Don't choose a profession because of cash. Choose because of your natural gifting, so that you can create value that people will be able to appreciate, that will be unique enough, that will make you distinguished. Some of the area of gifting that we think are not connected are the ones that make you to be more original. When you combine the skill, appreciate all the talent, the gift, and potential that you have, because there lies your future. If you are the type that always sees what is wrong in everything, when someone does something, you will always notice what is wrong. And you think that is bad. That is the mind of an innovator. He's always seeing an area of improvement. No, you can do this. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you? He's always seeing what you can do better. That's why when you're in business or you're doing business and someone says, criticize what you're doing, criticism is a good feedback for a better job. Criticism is a good feedback for a better product. Criticism is a good feedback for a better service. Criticism is a good feedback. Most of the things I've done as a business were what people criticize and say, why do you guys not doing this? Why are you not considering this? And I say, okay, that's true. Let's do it. And then we work on it. And then we do it. Because someone asked about it. Someone is interested in it. Criticism. So a critical mind who always see what is not right in some, and some people say, you know what's the problem, sir? And that's your uniqueness. Your uniqueness. You are always noticing. Why is this chair having 4 legs? Why is it not having 5 legs? Why is it not having 5 legs? That is the mind of an inventor. That is the mind of an innovator. So, and that's why when a child is growing up and is asking questions, please, allow the child to ask that question. Children are born naturally with curiosity. Curiosity. Before we killed it with Cain, we used Cain to kill that curiosity. Because why are you always asking questions? Why should you not ask questions? He will ask you questions. This morning I was going to the gym. My son said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to the gym. Should I come? I said, no, children is not allowed. Why is children not allowed? 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 You know, so question, just asking question. It is curious mind. Curious mind is the mind of an inventor. When you are curious. Now, if that continues, that is what is needed to grow, to advance, because you are always asking questions. And you know, in Africa, some parents see children asking questions as, why are you questioning me? That's because, is that what? Yes, subordination for asking questions. That's a curious mind. Curious mind. God gave that gift to children. Children are naturally curious. And our job is to preserve that curiosity till they are 6, 7. If you can help it, and by 6, 7, they still maintain that curiosity, you are going to build an amazing child. Why? Only that you now have to learn to manage it when you become a teenager, because it's now going to ask you questions, those questions we were discussing yesterday. It's going to ask you that question. Those questions we were discussing yesterday. That's why it's recommended that a parent remain a parent to your child, until it is 12, a parent. What does a parent do? Shield, guard, protect. Between 13 and 19, you are a friend. Don't shield and protect again. Be a friend. Discuss intimate issues. He's going to be discovering so many things, and you need to talk. If he doesn't find someone to talk to, he's going to discuss with the friend. The friend is going to teach him or her rubbish. That is the time to be a friend. So you want to, no matter how stupid and foolish the question is, let him ask, let her ask. Let her be free to discuss anything and everything. By the time he's 20, he doesn't need a friend again. And he doesn't need a parent, he needs a mentor. You are going to tell him what he should do and let him take his decision. If you want to be bossy around, you're going to have issues. This is one of the issues why parents have big issue with their teenagers. Very big issue with teenagers. Very big issue with teenagers because of inadequate understanding of how the mindset of the children are changing. Some area of gifting that we think are not connected are the ones that make you to become more original. Appreciate your talent and gift and potential. There lies the future. If you are the type that always sees what is wrong, that's a great mind of an inventor. So to see what is wrong everywhere, that's a gift that you need to develop so as to be a creator and innovator. The gift helps you to create better products, move it towards perfection, and so you are needed in every sector. If you have a critical mind, you are needed in every sector. By now, you should have an idea of what you're supposed to do with your life. Children should not choose profession based on what is reigning, what is in vogue, what is paying very well, but rather based on what they are naturally good at. Someone like me like to listen and read in order to learn new things. I actually prefer this to speaking. I love speaking, but I like reading and listening, just learning. Just learning. If you like to be alone, you can ask what profession is connected to be alone. You don't like, you like to be alone, touching this, doing things. You don't want to deal with human beings. That's a researcher, preferably a scientist that want to be in a lab. There was a sister when I was in Lu, she's a lecturer now. She can be in the lab. So is the what they call them, office assistant, people that close the door. They're the one that always tell that, Madam, it's 8 p.m. I'm going home. I met someone, I went to a pharmacy this week. I met a pharmacist. So we're discussing, and I'm guy from Lut. And I said, does he know so and so who was teaching a course that pharmacy student takes? That woman, he was that woman can be in the lab for the whole day. She has discovered what she loves to do. It's not anything with people. He just wants to be alone. She just wants to be alone. Sometimes you might be intimidated because no one is doing what you want to do. No one is doing what you want to do. Or no one is doing anything connected to what you want to do. That is good. That's a pointer that you are going to set up a whole industry. You will be a pioneer of an industry. A pioneer of an industry. Some of the things we do in trade as a business, very few people are doing it in Nigeria. So it's something you can do also. I don't think you should be intimidated because you don't have a competition. That's a good one for you. You will need a lot of effort to convince people, but immediately you convince one or two, the news will fly around. One of the greatest deceptions is to be thinking that what God has put in you is not enough to sustain you. That's a big lie. To say that what God has put in you is not enough to sustain you, that is a big lie. Because everything you have in you is good enough to make you to be what you are meant to be. So you can be very, very successful in it. You can be a multi-billionaire. You can become greater than you can even imagine. You should not be looking for a job because your area of work, which is your area of calling, is hidden in you. Don't be looking for what to do. Look inward first and find out. Upon identifying your talent, then convert it to skill. What does skill mean? A form of certification, formal education. Through development. Then grow from skill to competence. Evidence that you have done it. Don't stop at competence. Grow from becoming an expert through the 10,000-hour rule and eventually grow to become an authority by writing and informing people who will read and learn in your field. When I left banking and I started doing training in what I do, international trade, I've done a lot of certifications, I've acquired skill, but I need to convert my skill to competence. To convert it to competence, you know what I did? I wrote a letter to all Nigerian banks that I want to train their staff free of charge. 5 of them responded, and I trained them free of charge. So when I started now signing proposal for other training, if they ask, show us everything you have done it before. See picture, see mail, see evidence. Nobody will ask you if they pay you. All they know is that you have done it for Stanbic, you have done it for First Bank, you have done it for Diamond. Nobody is interested in how much they pay. You know what I'm trying to do? I was trying to build competence. Skill, I can do it. Competence, I have done it. Skill, I can do it. Competence, I have done it. Expertise, I have done it again and again and again and again and again. Authority, I have not just done it, I'm now instructing and informing the industry on a better way to do it. So I'm writing for the industry. I'm writing for the industry. I'm writing for the industry on what they need to do. Now that you have known this thing, happy and blessed are you if you do them. All right. Let me go online first. Yes. Janet, what have you learned? Let me take question first. From online and on ground. Question first. Question before comment. Please, online, you can raise up your hand if you have question. Question, please. On ground, question. Yes, sir. Yes, on the master key. Good. Yes, I know. If prayer was the master key, Jesus will not do anything. He will be praying every time. He said, I must walk the walk of him that sent me while it is day. He prayed, but he walked. The prayer is the master key. Master key means that's the only key that will open the door. Prayer is necessary. It helps us to hear. Know what to do. If I do not know what to do, I will fail, right? But that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. That prayer is necessary. I'm trying to emphasize prayer. That prayer helps me to know, hear, and know what to do. But I need to do. So if I only pray, because it's the master key, that means there's no other thing I will do. Because master key is the only key that will open the door. But it's one of the key, but it's not the master key. Because bro, this is what is killing Nigeria. Nigeria, there's so many things we're supposed to do. We're not doing it, we're only praying. You know what? It's not working. It's not working at all. Nations that don't pray or apply scriptural principles, either directly or indirectly, are prospering. They don't pray, they don't even believe in God, like Chinese or the Muslim in the Middle East. But they apply the principle, but they are successful. So for me as a Christian, prayer is so vital and important. I think we have just abused it. We abused it. That's what we have done. And because we abused it, we depend so much on it at the end of what we should do. Jesus said, my Father worketh hitherto and I work. So do you know Jesus was so tired? He was hungry. And there was opportunity to work. He forgot about food. He started talking to that woman at the well. He forgot about food. He worked to be able to achieve his objective. But he also prayed. Only that he doesn't rely only on prayer. And I think it's our perfect theology. It's our perfect example. It's our perfect theology. So for me, prayer is vital and important, but it's not the master key. It's one of the keys. It's one of the keys. I don't know if I answered your question, sir. Okay. Yes. Yes, definitely. In fact, sometimes your gifts that actually create that uniqueness. Sorry, we are trying to ensure people online, they complained yesterday, so we are trying to get them to, yes, but you have spoken already. So, okay, you are one of them that complained yesterday. You said, okay, when you were, yes. Okay, when you got home. Okay. So your uniqueness, in fact, sometimes your uniqueness is actually because of your gift. You don't understand? As in your uniqueness sometimes actually because that's what makes you different, and that's what makes you unique. So our uniqueness can be defined by our gift, largely defined by our gift. Yes. Someone was trying to unmute. Ifeanyi, were you trying to ask a question? I saw you unmuted your mic. Hello, Ifeanyi, can you hear me? Okay, Ifeanyi is not there. Okay, let me hear again. Yeah, you have a question. So, is that what? Yes. So, it means that basically most of the content you need I don't know. You start with what's available here. But since you are doing something new, how do you sort of like get material? Research. Let me tell you, anything new. There's nothing new under the sun. Anything new is old plus new to create a new. You understand? Old plus new, create a new. So when I create something new, I actually just innovate. I add a new knowledge to old knowledge to create something new. Old knowledge, new knowledge, create something new. So when I'm doing something new, that means nobody what I'm doing is so unique that nobody is in that area. But there are people that have done something related that can add to what I'm doing. So, for example, we do diploma in trade in Nigeria. But there are people that have written different materials that we put together and add other things to create that program. Okay. Sorry, can you take it again? I'll give you a scenario of what I think is very important.
solving problems across digital transformation.
Okay.
We have millennials and influencers that are not necessarily invoke, but they need it because of the speed at which digital space is approaching. So that is something that needs to be solved. So I think it's something I want to solve, but the information I need, most of it is not in Nigeria per se.
It's online now. Where is it again? Online.
So it's online, and of course, okay, you get to pay for most of this subject in dollars and like kind of challenges.
That's why your work, whatever you are doing, should be funding your dream. So that's why, I said yesterday that if I'm going to take up a job that is not in the area of my gifting or calling, I should take up the job with the hope of developing that area. So I shouldn't take up a job because of what we eat and drink. I should take up a job because I want to use that job to fund what I believe God wants me to do. That way, my getting a job become meaningful, rather than just getting a job because I want to feed the body and feed the flesh. If all I want to do is to feed the body and feed the flesh, then I will be going against labor not for the meat that perishes. That means I'm just living to feed the body. And you know that's exactly what many of us do. Just living to feed the body. Then you ask yourself, why will you be living to feed the body? But that's the norm. So it's appear normal to live to feed the body. Yes. Yes. Any other question? Okay, those online, can you raise up your hand if you want to unmute yourself, please? Just raise up your hand, then I will enable you, but there was so much noise I have to stop, mute everybody. Janet. Sorry, no, let me go to Theophilus. Theophilus was on. Theophilus, yes, you can unmute yourself. Let's hear from you, your comment, and if you have any question. Hello, Theophilus, are you there? Okay, let me move to Samson. Hello, Samson. You can unmute yourself, please.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yeah, I joined a bit late, so I couldn't capture quite a good number of things you talked about.
All right.
But I learned something,
Okay.
especially when you talked about you proposing free training, and with that you're able to add competency to your skills.
Yes.
I learned quite a good insight from that, and I will be applying that as well for myself.
Okay. All right, thank you. Deji, you were able to join early? Deji, can you go ahead, please? You can unmute yourself, Deji. Hello, Deji.
Hello, sir.
Yes, morning.
Good morning, sir. Hello, sir. Yeah, today I don't really have much to say, but one thing that you just said to me that you just said this morning also striking is, we Christians, the issue of this prayer is the key. It just dawned on me this morning that fine, we always sing this song that prayer is the key, and most of the time, this mindset made us lazy.
Yes.
To do the needful.
Unconscious.
Yes, because we believe that once we pray, everything will fall on our laps. We have prayed now, so everything should just come with ease like that, forgetting that we also have a part to play.
Yes.
The same Bible that says faith without work is dead. we don't see that. So as we are talking about it, so I was just relating all those verses together. We always pick one portion of the Bible and just dwell on that and neglecting other principles that God has put in place. So it's good for us to pray. Like we said, when we pray, is for us to have fellowship, to receive ideas, from God on what to do next. And we should not forget that as we are receiving that idea, it is our own responsibility to do. God is not going to do it for us. So it is our own responsibility to do. So we must do. So as we receive the ideas through prayer, we have to do it. So that our part, we have to play it for us to become successful in whatever I want to do in life. So that is one part that was also striking this month.
All right, thank you very much. Ifeanyi, if you are there, you can unmute yourself, please. Hello, Ifeanyi, if you are there, you can unmute yourself.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, morning. How are you?
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Hello, sir.
Morning, I can hear you.
Okay, sir. Sorry, sir. I joined a little bit late. My battery was down, so I was charging it. So what I just picked from everything you said was that you convert your talent. I mean, you make sure you it's not just all about praying. You also put your prayer to work by harnessing your talent, your skills. And most times it's not all about, when you are starting up, it's not about running after money. You can decide to do voluntary service first to build your competence, and thereafter you take off from there.
Right.
So that's what I was able to pick up, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Janet. Janet, you can unmute yourself, please.
Okay, thank you, sir. Hello, sir.
I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
I was able to write down some things.
Okay.
I was able to point some of the things you said about the fruit of the thought.
Okay.
You said fruit of character, fruit of the hand is work. So the fruit of the thought and fruit of the mouth, I was not able to get
Fruit of thought, idea.
Yeah, okay. What of the fruit of the mouth?
Your words. Your words.
Okay.
Your words.
Okay. And you said we should not let people to define us. Yes, we should not let others define us. And our goals they are hidden our gifts. Our treasures are hidden our talents. And our profits are hidden our potentials. And also you said information is outside of us, while the knowledge is inside of us. It does require converting it to time, like it does requires our time. So it was a great time, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks so much.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if Yemi is available now. Yemi and Theophilus. Yemi and Theophilus, if you're available, you can unmute yourself. Yemi and Theophilus. Okay, I think they are not. All right. Let me come back here. Let me start with Ruth. You join us along the line. Yes, just comment on what you've learned before we start the next session. You join along the line. Yeah. Within the time you were around. Yes. 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 Yeah. 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 Yes, Faith. Go ahead. I thought you wanted to give them to me. Oh, okay. Yes. I've given you. Sorry. I have to do it because okay, let me remove it because of you can unmute me. Because of the noise I was hearing. You can unmute. Yes, go ahead. You need what? They know what they are. Confused. Okay, they don't know what they want to do, but they don't like what they are doing. The truth is, as long as your parents are there, you have to do what they want. But immediately you finish your first degree, you now have to do what you want. Because then you can get a place to work, get something doing, earn income to be able to do what you want to do. But I want to advise you, because you can't fund it yourself. So you have to do what your parents want you to do. So that at least you make them happy to pay your school fees. But if you have another way of funding yourself, I have a friend. I want to say something. Okay, let me finish. So I have a friend, he was studying chemical engineering. No, petrochemical engineering in University of Port Harcourt. It was my classmate in secondary school. When he got to year 4, he discovered that his gift is in art. He wrote JAM again. I think he wrote GC because he didn't do literature before. He wrote GC, he wrote JAM. Went back to year 1. His father disowned him. By that time, I was already working, so I had to even support him in school. His father disowned him. Later, when he finished and the father saw what he's doing, the father reowned him. Reowned him. You know what? A prodigal father. Reowned him. So, I mean, he couldn't bear. When he's called Luke, he said, this is what I want to do. And you need to see what she's a lecturer now. She's a lecturer in one of the federal universities, and she's teaching us students. She's excited, coming up with different theater, stage play. That's just what she wants to do, communicating values and message to society. So I always see him online, different videos he's posting on YouTube of what he's doing. So they did a show. He was the PA to the Commissioner for Culture in Frankfurt. So he and that man organized a show. It was a big show in Frankfurt. He put the father in front. The father reowned him, or reclaim him back. Yes, please go ahead.
Instead of avoid wasting of years, there is a way you can convince your parents.
Yeah, you can. You know some parents are
so they are not informed.
They are not what?
Informed.
Yeah. So sometimes we are desperate and get someone that have their ear to talk to them. Someone that have their ear to talk to them. So you know what I mean? Someone that they respect. You know, when I was in banking, when someone is not paying the loan and we need him to pay, and we don't want to be violent, if it's an Hausa man, we go to the emir. The emir of his village, we talk to him, he will pay it if he has the money. If it's an Igbo man, we go to the priest. The priest will convince him. If it's a Yoruba man, we go to an elder in his house. So what? So talk to him. I'm basically saying that you can always find someone that can talk to them. Yes.
Like you make the world now.
Yeah.
You can always find something like 3 courses. So what you learn. So the one you find them was like different engineering and listening to something else. But business. For schools like Unilag now, they are free digital platforms. So you can don't come up with the 5-year curriculum. So you need that you buy them that.
It's all about that because people, there are a lot of stuff done e-learning right now. So you're right. If you're on campus, that's an opportunity. The opportunity to be able to learn if you have access to the internet, such that while you're learning in school, there are people, when I was in INLAG, there are people who were in INLAG and like Abatech. But they don't let people know. Because if they know, they will chase them. They are doing the 2 programs together concurrently. And so you have lecture here, you have class sometimes with both stab one and attend the other. But at the end of the day, he was able to finish both of them. So, like you said, you can combine it. So, different option now. Do what your parents want, go back and do yours. Get them persuaded to be able to do what you want to do. Or, while you are doing theirs, you are doing yours concurrently. All right, yes. Before you have asked your question, so tell me what you learned. You said what?
I think I learned YT.
You learned a lot. Good.
Okay, the first thing that
On
you didn't choose a profession because of salary.
yeah, because of I want to do you know, it doesn't sound normal. But if you are going to be you can't be normal. You can't think if you think you definitely will be like everybody. What people don't understand is that when you do what you love, you have to take chance of success. So that means I can take a job in the area of my gift. So if I take that job, I will that ability what I want to do myself. Then maybe I don't think someone I'm 5 to 10 years, I don't think up to 5 years. If it's in your area of course, but if it's not in your area of course, you know why you don't have all the time to go. Your life starts working at 25. So let's say average, let's say 75. That's 50 years. Let's say 48, 78, 78, 73. So that's 48 years, Abby. He will spend 16 years to sleep already. Out of that, 48 years, 16 years will spend sleep. Remember what? 32. Out of the 32, if he's on a job, he will spend 16 years working. 16 years. Another 1/3, 8 hours a day. What's left? 16 years. Out of that 16 years, food. You spend 1 hour every day on food. Breakfast 20 minutes, lunch 20 minutes, dinner 20 minutes. In a year, 365 hours. Multiplied by 48 years. Getting ready, dress up, brushing, shower, the like. If you're a Christian praying, you spend about 1 hour. 365 hours a year. Going to work and coming back, at the least you spend 1 hour. But you and I know that some of us spend 2 hours or even 3 hours. Another 365 hours a year gone. And you go to church, another what? 365 hours. So before you know it, you will look at your time. You just realize that 8 hours of is what you really have to be able to do something for yourself. Because there are so many other important things you are doing with the other time. If you now use these 8 hours of work and you work for that 25 to 48, 73, you won't really do anything. Particularly if you're not in an area that's not an area of your calling. Unless if you want to be on an NGO, for example, and so you have a creche, and you're thinking of children, and you have a building, you are using that job to fund it. Brilliant. So the job makes sense now. The job makes sense. After a while, if you are doing that very well, you'll get sponsored. You won't have to be there again. You will not focus on it fairly. And probably have branches safe. So I'm trying to paint the picture that at the end of the day, you really don't have time. You really don't have. So you can't spend so much on, especially when you're in an area that's not your area of gifting and calling. You shouldn't spend too much time on it. So you learn how businesses are run, and I strongly believe that because I've realized also people that have not, some have not very well, because if you are now not working, it becomes very difficult. If you have not worked before and you have not learned what it means or what it takes. Is that what? I'm still hearing the noise. You're saying something. Okay, yeah, okay. I'll do that. You know, so basically saying that it's extremely important for us as individuals, as humans, to try as much as possible to operate within our area of calling. And if we are not there because we need to work, and that's okay, but you should define that work. Take up a job that will support your area of calling. Maybe it's giving you money to develop yourself, or it's giving you money to fund your dream. It shouldn't be because you want to eat and drink. The job should not be because you want to. If that's the reason, it's later that the person will realize that it's just been a wasted time because it's not worth it. You understand? Let me take one or two comments more. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Say what? Oh, we can do that after we finish. Why not? I've done that. Yeah. You what?
I said I find a way to cut off my work. So I will still go possibly because I want to be there today.
Okay.
For example, you didn't have opportunity for others and you have gone far. Maybe you are doing something, those days you just meet in and start doing it. Okay, maybe by chance you find yourself where you are. You have gone far and then you started discovering where you think you can function very well.
Okay.
You start discovering you have so many responsibilities, you have so many challenges. Now it's becoming so difficult, to come back to that area. And when you are now, you are getting frustrated. I think one of your stuff you mentioned something of that nature. You are getting frustrated and then you are getting confused. So in this kind of situation, how do you come out and solve the problem?
The first thing is to set time because you must exit. Exiting is critical, but exiting without plan also is not wise. So set time and plan, which is why if one is working, you should always have buffer. Buffer in the sense that you are able to have, what I tell people is that if you are on any job, if for any reason you need to leave unknowingly, either voluntary or compulsively by retrenchment or compulsory resignation, you should have 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year funds somewhere that you have saved that can sustain. So if that is not there, then that will be necessary before you leave. So that you will, and when you are now planning, let's say now you're not okay, if I'm going to leave, I'm giving myself another 3 years or 4 years, I need to discipline myself to save this amount. But while I'm doing that, I'm also now developing myself in that thing I want to do. So I'm doing two things at the same time. So currently I have bankers who want to do business and they've identified what they want to do. So I work with them. They are saving, they are attending the training that we are doing. So they are doing that training and they are saving for what they want to do and they are still on the job. But they've given themselves time. So in another 5 years, they will have finished that training, they will have developed their product. By the time they are rounding off or coming out, they have savings for the business, for their family, and they already have the business started in a small way. They now give time to it. So they now know that, okay, I just need to give this business another 6 months to 1 year for it to pick up. But within that time, I have what my family will eat, I have my rent, I have those things down. Why I'm pushing this? So that planning, I think, is critical. But living is extremely important. But I don't think living should be done abruptly. It has to be done wisely. So if there's no enough buffer yet, then we must create that buffer before happening. But while creating that buffer, that thing I want to do, I should start working on it. Either in the evening, when I was leaving Diamond Bank, I left July 31st, 2010. I told my boss in March, so I have 4 months. I already knew I was going to leave, but I have 4 months of planning. But that one I was using to write, brainstorm, and I do a lot of stuff on weekend and in the evening. So, but that 4 months was critical for me. It was even supposed to be 3 months. He asked for 1 month extra I gave. I was supposed to leave in July 1st, but eventually it became August 1st. But I had to plan. But I already had it in mind, so I already was saving towards it. What I'm going to say in essence is that it must have a plan. It must have a plan. And the planning should be tied to the skill I need to acquire, the development I need to do, vis-a-vis the resources needed Not just for what I want to do, but also to sustain myself. Why what I want to do, want to pick up. Does it make sense? Okay. No problem. No problem. Any other comments? Any other comments? Okay. Yes. 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 Wrong-minded. The wrong mindset. Wrong mindset that think that because I'm talented, then it's enough. Talent is not enough. Talent is not. There's a book that I think what's the name of this one? John Maxwell, I think, wrote a book like that. Talent is not enough. Talent is not enough. Talent is never enough. Talent needs to be developed before it can be deployed to bless our world. All right.